So, new to me Raspberry Pi based dash. It's been a year in the works. Couldn't really get it working right because we couldn't get a power supply, but now we have this thing right here, which is a 50 watt 5-volt power supply that provides enough juice to run the Raspberry Pi and the display. So, turn on. There's the shifters in the way, sorry. This is the big disadvantage of this, is they boot very slowly. They just don't have the kind of I/O speed you'd expect. This is why you pay $1,000 for an E-Dash from AIM or Race Technology. It starts up immediately, whereas this stuff you gotta wait. There's Tuner Studio loading. There's the dash loading. Connecting. Full screen. Here we are. So, I'm just going to move the gear shifter out of the way so you can see everything. What we've got is this display. We've got charts for oil pressure, temperature, transmission pressure and temperature, air-fuel ratio, and map. I've got a button here. Press the button. It will start data logging, right? Stop data logging. This chart tells me where my traction control retard is, which I need to adjust the limits because it should be 0 right now. This indicator tells me whether or not the GPS is working. We're sitting in the garage right now, and the GPS receiver in this car can't see the sky, so that doesn't work that well. Fuel pressure gauge. Now this is the cool thing, it's a touch screen, so you swipe and you'll get, there's the default Megasquirt gauge display, right, with all the indicators. Do again. This is the time and speed to distance, and if you go somewhere and mash your foot, it'll do all the calculations and figure out all these times for distance, and then you can, reset all the numbers and try again. This is a rendering of a Lamborghini Dash that I downloaded from the internet, but as you can see, it's got some issues because it is not connected, but it very much is connected, but the arrows go all over the place, so we have to do some work on that. And then you can swipe again and we're right back to the one we are. So I mean, this is really kind of, for me, driving around, tracking it really, you get to the straights, you don't really ever look at the dash when you're driving on a track until you get to a straight, and then you got to take a glance. You say, where are my levels, right? So I've got oil pressure, and if the oil pressure is down where it's not supposed to be, then we can do something about that, like, stop the car. Knowing whether or not we're logging is a big deal. Another thing that we've got integrated into this is it will, if I'm in the garage like I am now, I'm in my garage, and you can see some blinking lights over there for my router. As soon as this thing gets in the garage and gets in range and gets on Wi-Fi, it will sync the entire Tuner Studio folder to an Amazon S3 bucket in the cloud. So I don't even have to hook a computer up to this thing to get the logs out of it. As soon as I pull in the driveway, let it idle for about 2 minutes, it'll have everything uploaded, and then I can just go in the house and pull the logs and see what it did. So, again, it's a Raspberry Pi 3. You can't really see behind it. There's no light back there. It's mounted to the back of the display. I've kind of got it stuck to the dash with some 3M strips for now. It's not a terribly clean install, but at the same time it's functional. And at a glance, I can look down and see whether or not